yesterday.
Now, Jake Odorizzi is my pitcher to watch in this one.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Nicholas Castellanos.
And he smokes that one fair down the line. Winker right through second. Just now Dickerson gathers in left. The wave is on. They send Winker home. Crawford's relay to the plate. No! And a slide in. Winker safe. Castellanos backside to third. And the Reds claim the lead back. It's 5-4. Another extra base knock for Nick Castellanos.
Nice.
Now, my team to watch in this one, I am going to pick the Los Angeles Angels.
Salvi throws down to third. What a way to end the game.
Well, I guess I'll take 1 out of 3 of my players/team to watch in this one. Hopefully today's predictions are going to be a little bit better. I hope you're enjoying your day. We got a full slate of baseball today. Let's jump right into it in today's MLB preview. What's going on, everybody? My name is Miller, of course, and I hope you're enjoying your day, staying safe out there. Today's going to be a great day for baseball. We got a ton of afternoon games, a couple double headers, and then just all night long we got baseball going on. So it's going to be an exciting one in this one, and hopefully some of these teams start to pick it up a little bit. Yankees. Well, speaking of the Yankees, our first game of the day today is the New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays dominated Jameson Taillon and the Yankees yesterday, so they took the dub yesterday. And Cory Kluber's on the mound for the Yankees today against Ross Stripling, who hasn't looked that good so far this year. Both teams are 5-6 going into this one, so it should be a good matchup. Hopefully, Kluber can bounce back for the Yankees a little bit. That's just me, and that's my bias. At 1:15 Eastern Time, the 2-6 Washington Nationals face off against the 6-5 St. Louis Cardinals. Joe Ross pitched well in his first time out there. He's pitching for the Nationals. And Adam Wainwright has not looked like old Adam Wainwright as of yet, so he's on the mound for the Cardinals trying to bounce back a little bit, right the ship for his season. At 1:40 Eastern Time, the 5-6 Chicago Cubs, they actually got a victory yesterday, which is shocking. So good for them. Against the 6-5 Milwaukee Brewers, Jake Arrieta, who's trying to find his old form, looked good so far this year. He's on the mound for the Cubs. And then, of course, nasty co-ace of the Brewers, Corbin Burns, one of my favorite pitchers in both real life and MLB The Show, is on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. I also have him on my fantasy team, so I'm heavily rooting for Corbin Burns in this one, even though the Cubs are my second favorite team. And now at 2:10, the Los Angeles Angels face off against the Kansas City Royals. Griffin Canning is on the mound for the Angels, and Brad Keller desperately trying to fix his season, fix whatever's going on with him. He's on the mound for the Kansas City Royals. The Royals stole a win from the Angels last night after Salvador Perez ended the game on that pickoff of David Fletcher, as you saw in the intro. Hopefully, Brad Keller can actually pitch in this one for them. He has not looked good so far this year. He's given up a ton of home runs, a ton of runs. He gave up that 485-foot home run to Yermin Mercedes the other day. So they definitely need him to bounce back. He looked great last year. I'm not too worried long term, but they definitely need him to pick it up a little bit. The hottest team in baseball, Boston Red Sox, at 7-3. They've won 7 in a row. Face off against the 5-5 Minnesota Twins. Nathan Eovaldi looked fantastic his last time out against the Rays. He's up for the Red Sox, and then Kenta Maeda, Minnesota Twins ace, is on the mound for them. He's also looked good so far this year. Hopefully he can shut down, if you're a Twins fan, hopefully he can shut down that nasty Red Sox offense. The Red Sox offense has been great so far. Maeda's obviously really good. We'll see which team comes out on top in this one. And then the Red Sox and Twins have a doubleheader scheduled today because their game got canceled a couple days ago. They're making it up in this one. So Eduardo Rodriguez, making his second start of the season, is on the mound for the Red Sox. Looked okay in his first start. Can't expect a ton out of him just because he's coming off that major injury and he's just kind of trying to get back into the groove of things. He's on the mound for these Red Sox. And then Jose Barrios looked gross his last time out as well. Obviously had that nasty game with him and Corbin Burns pitching where they both had perfect games going into the 6th inning, I think. So he's pitched well for them, and the Twins just hope that he can continue to roll throughout this season and be that ace that everyone thought he could be. At 3:45 Eastern Time, the 7-4 Cincinnati Reds face off against the 7-4 San Francisco Giants. Tyler Mahle, who's looked good so far this year, he looked great his last time out against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's facing Johnny Cueto and the San Francisco Giants. Now, Cueto's pitched really well so far. He almost pitched a complete game shutout his last time out against the Rockies. So the Giants are hoping that he can continue that form. If the Giants continue to play well, then maybe he won't get traded. But if the Giants do fall off a little bit, maybe aren't in the postseason run, then you could expect Cueto to probably get traded to a contender. But we'll see. Nothing is set in stone, that's for sure. Now, the 8-4 San Diego Padres face off against the 4-7 Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirates were able to take a victory yesterday, but Joe Musgrove, coming off of his no-hitter, is on the mound for the Padres, facing off against his old team in the Pirates. Tyler Anderson is on the mound for these Pirates. Musgrove, it's going to be a great return home for him. Now, I shouldn't say home, but facing off against his old team. He knows a lot of guys in that clubhouse, so I'm sure it'll be fun for Joe Musgrove and the Padres in this one. We'll see who comes out on top. Now at 7:05 Eastern Time, the 6-5 Seattle Mariners face off against the 5-6 Baltimore Orioles. Justin Dunn, top prospect for them, is on the mound for the Orioles. And then Matt Harvey on the mound for the Orioles. He's looked okay so far this year. Definitely not going to be that Cy Young candidate that he once was, but maybe he can eat some innings and get traded later on this year. At 7:10 Eastern Time, the 5-6 Detroit Tigers face off against the struggling Houston Astros. They've lost 3 or 4 games in a row, I believe. Michael Fulmer trying to get back to his Rookie of the Year form. He's on the mound for the Tigers. And Lance McCullers Jr. signed that contract extension right before the season started. He's on the mound for the Astros. So far, the Tigers have looked better than people expected, and the Astros are struggling right now, but I'm not too worried long term. I think the Astros will probably figure it out. They are a good team. They might fall to 500 in this one. We will see. But McCullers is definitely the guy they want on the mound to stop the losing streak. Now at 4-7, the Texas Rangers face off against the 5-6 Tampa Bay Rays. Ari Hara is on the mound for the Texas Rangers. He's looked okay so far in his big league career. He's facing Josh Fleming for the Tampa Bay Rays. Fleming's making his season debut in this one. I don't know a ton about Fleming, but I'm sure he throws disgusting stuff. Probably throws from behind his back, kneeling on the ground on the mound, because that's just what the Tampa Bay Rays do. It's infuriating. I hate the Rays. Sorry, Rays fans, if you exist. At 6-5, the Philadelphia Phillies face off against the now above 500 4-3 New York Mets. Zach Wheeler is making his 3rd start of the season. He's on the mound for the Phillies, facing his old squad against David Peterson and the Mets. David Peterson hasn't looked great so far this year. The Phillies obviously have a very good offense, so we'll see if Peterson can bounce back in this one. And we'll see if Zach Wheeler can shut down that good Mets offense. Now, DeGrom's not on the mound for the Mets, so they might actually score a little bit in this one. We will see. We'll have to find out what happens. At 7:20, the 4-6 Miami Marlins, they've won 2 in a row against the Atlanta Braves. The Braves are 4-7. I'm not too worried about the Braves long term. Their guys are starting to pick it up a little bit. Acuna's raked all year. Marcell Ozuna's picking it up a little bit. So is Freddie Freeman. Nick Neidert is on the mound for the Marlins. He's looked good so far this year. And then Charlie Martin's on the mound for these Atlanta Braves. I just can't say his name without saying it like that. I'm very sorry. So far, he's looked good as a Brave. Maybe not as good as he was with the Rays, but again, it's the beginning of the season. Long term, I'm not too worried. Either way, he's great for that pitching staff, and they're going to be fine. They're just trying to not get swept in this one. Now at 6-4, the Cleveland Indians face off against the 5-6 Chicago White Sox. The Indians did win last night. A great pitching matchup between Shane Bieber and Lucas Giolito. Now, if you listen to the Diamond in the Rough podcast, which I do highly recommend, at the beginning of the offseason, I said that Shane Bieber was a little bit overrated because he was coming off that fantastic 2020 season, and I thought maybe people were a little bit too high on him because he was going to have a little bit of a worse year this year. But now everyone on Twitter and Instagram tags me in all of his stat lines, and I get it, okay? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he's not overrated. I understand. I appreciate you letting me know that I was very, very wrong. But Zach, we have another good pitching matchup in this one with the Indians and the White Sox. Zach Plesac on the mound for these Cleveland Indians against Carlos Rodon, who has yet to give up a run this season. He's looked really, really good. Maybe kind of reaching that top prospect form that he once had. Everyone was very high on Carlos Rodon when he came up. He gets DFA'd at the end of last offseason, and then the White Sox re-sign him to a cheaper contract. And so far, it's worked out for them. So hopefully the White Sox can get back to 500 in this one. And then the last game of the day at 10:10 Eastern Time, the 3-8 Colorado Rockies. Yikes. worst team in baseball right now. They face off against the 9-2 best team in baseball, Los Angeles Dodgers. The Rockies don't have that many they don't have that many bright spots on their team right now, but Jon Gray has been one of them. 1-0 with a 1.54 ERA for Jon Gray. He looks to pitch well against these Dodgers, who are not easy to pitch well against. And then Dustin May, best fifth starter in baseball, Dustin May, is on the mound for the Dodgers. He's looked great so far this year as well. So this should be a good pitching matchup. We will see how it ends up, and we'll see if the Dodgers can be the first team in baseball to get to 10 wins. Now, my pitcher to watch in this one, I have to go with my guy. There's more than one option. There always is. I could go with a guy like Brad Keller, who desperately needs to right the ship, but for the whole season, Brad Keller doesn't mean as much to the Royals as my pick means to their team. Cory Kluber, the Yankees signed him to $11 million. They are expecting him to pitch well. They need him to pitch well. He needs to bounce back. He looked really bad against the Rays the other day. The Blue Jays offense has struggled a little bit so far this year, and he pitched okay against the Blue Jays in his first start, as you saw as you're watching the highlights. He definitely needs to pick it up, and I'm not saying he needs to be a Cy Young, but the Yankees, to be successful this season, do need him to pitch like a number 3-4 starter. So far, he hasn't done that. It's only a couple starts. He's still coming back from missing all of last year. But Cory Kluber's my pitcher to watch in this one. I know I'll be watching. He definitely needs to pick it up, and hopefully he can find that command that he has desperately lacked in his first two starts of the season. And hopefully he can be efficient in this one, because the Yankees bullpen has been absolutely just abused so far this season, because the starters have not gone into late innings at all except for Garrett Cole. So Cory Kluber is my pitcher to watch in this one. And my hitter to watch in this one, a guy you may not know about, and that's Phillip Evans. He has absolutely raked for the Pittsburgh Pirates so far this season. He has definitely been one of the few bright spots for that team. And they're not as bad as people thought they were going to be. But right now, Phillip Evans, he's batting .382. He's got an OPS above 1,100. He's got 3 home runs on the season, which is like 3 more than his season high. I know he's a young guy, but he's been so good for them so far. He's my player to watch in this one, mostly because a lot of people never heard about him before he started raking for the Pirates. He doesn't lead the league, but he's tops in the league in hard hit percentage and walk percentage and barrel percentage and all the good stuff that you want to see. Phillip Evans is doing it all right for the Pirates right now. So he's my guy to watch in this one, and I think it'll be interesting because he is facing Joe Musgrove, who hasn't given up an earned run this year yet, and obviously is coming off of that no-hitter. So Joe Musgrove and Phillip Evans, that should be a marquee matchup today, which is wild to say. I don't know if I thought I would ever say that. So now that my pitcher to watch is Cory Kluber and my hitter to watch is Phillip Evans, my team to watch in this one, I mentioned them earlier. They are the hottest team in baseball, the Boston Red Sox. They've won 7 in a row. They look to make it 9 in a row today because they are playing that doubleheader against the Minnesota Twins. This offense has been really good, but they have to face 2 fantastic pitchers today in Kenta Maeda and Jose Barrios. So we'll see if the offense is legit after facing those 2 guys today, and we'll see if they can make their record 9-3 instead of 7-3. So they're the hottest team in baseball. They're my team to watch in this one. How hot can they get? How legit are they as a contender? Because myself included, a lot of people don't see them as a postseason contender this year. Maybe they're just on a hot streak, or maybe they are the real deal. We will see. But they're my team to watch in this one, guys. That's going to do it for me today, guys, in today's MLB preview. I appreciate all of you hanging out, watching this one. I hope you enjoy your day and this full game of baseball, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.